It was the middle of summer, and I must have been around 12 years old. My mom, younger brother, and I had traveled to a large city to visit some relatives, but instead of staying with them, we checked into a hotel. My brother was several years younger than me, so I was usually expected to watch over him. As soon as we arrived, my mom went to the front desk to check us in and get our room key, while my brother and I sat on one of the couches in the lobby. The couch faced the front entrance, and as we waited, I noticed a man walk through the hotel doors. He looked to be in his mid-40s, nothing particularly strange about him. His appearance was so plain that trying to describe him now would create 100 different versions in anyone's mind. He didn't go to the front desk. He just came in and sat down on the couch opposite ours. Something about that unsettled me. I didn't want to seem paranoid, but it crossed my mind that maybe he'd followed us in. Before I could think about it much longer, my mom called us over and said the room was ready. We left the lobby and headed upstairs to unpack. I quickly forgot about the man. That evening, around 7, we came back to the hotel after visiting our family. My mom said we could go swimming in the hotel pool before bed. We changed and made our way to the indoor pool area, which was empty except for us. But a few minutes after we got in, the same man from earlier walked in and took a seat. He was wearing jeans and a sweater, clearly not dressed to swim. I tried not to look at him, but I could feel his eyes on us. I turned to my mom and I saw something in her face I didn't often see: concern. She leaned over and whispered that if he didn't leave in 5 minutes, we were going back to our room. We waited. He didn't move. So we dried off, packed up, and left the pool. By the time we were in our room, it was close to 8. We'd brought a rented movie with us, and after everything, all we wanted was to relax and fall asleep. But I could tell my mom was still uneasy. That man hadn't done anything, but the way he kept appearing near us felt too deliberate. I started to feel nervous too. Halfway through the movie, my mom got up to take a shower. I stayed behind, watching and trying not to overthink. Then there was a knock at the door. "Housekeeping?" a man's voice said. That didn't make sense. Housekeeping at this hour? But we did need another towel, and maybe hotels worked differently here, so I got up and opened the door. Standing there with a forced smile and a wave was the same man. My stomach dropped. I couldn't move, couldn't even speak. I just stood there, frozen, staring at him. My mind raced with horrifying thoughts: kidnapping, assault, worse. He tilted his head slightly and said, "How was your swim?" Before I could answer, the bathroom door opened. My mom stepped out, gentle tapping on the door. No one called out. I had a "Do Not Disturb" sign hanging, so I figured they'd move on. But then I heard the electronic lock beep. The door began to open slowly. I called out, "No, thank you. Not right now." No response, just silence. Then the door slammed shut. Startled, I jumped up and ran into the hallway. To my right, it was empty. But to my left, I caught a glimpse of a woman's leg turning the far corner. I chased after her, but by the time I reached the end of the hallway, she was gone. I heard a door close, but there were at least 20 closed doors and no sign of her. At the front desk, I complained about the behavior. The woman at the counter calmly said, "That must have been Rosa," and promised to talk to her. Later, back in my room, I was on the phone with my mom. She told me not to come home yet. My dad was still furious. I tried to get some sleep, turning in early. Around 9 p.m., I woke to a voice. "You have to let them in." There was someone standing beside my bed. An older woman, face partially hidden in the dark, was looming over me. I barely had time to scream before she lunged, wrapping her hands around my neck and repeating, "You piece of..." over and over. Her grip was weak, and I managed to push her off and run out of the room. She chased me to the door but didn't follow me down the hall. At the front desk, the woman admitted an employee had lost a master key. She hadn't reported it. The police were called. I was refunded and went home. When I told my dad what happened, he was shaken. It was the first time he ever showed me genuine sympathy. I haven't left home like that since, and I still don't know what happened to the woman who tried to kill me.